guys. How are we today? I'm so glad that you guys can make it. Hey, Aaron, how are you? And Chopper, it's good to see you, dude. And Debbie, how are you? Hey, Trista. Okay, I understand. Thank you so very much. You take care of you and our condolences, absolutely. Hey, Hippie Chick, how are you? I'm so glad to see all you guys. Um, Thank you so much. I wanted to first tell you guys, remember we were talking about Stephanie Dameron, the little girl missing from Maine? She actually turned 14 while she was missing. I wanted to tell you guys they're having a vigil at her hometown, and let me find it to share with you guys. They Okay, let me come back and get you guys. But they're also showing it online. So I thought that would be nice. It's this Saturday at 1 o'clock, I believe. I've got a flyer to share with you guys. And I did see that they were asking people if you're in the area to print out some of her flyers to post. And I'm still praying for her, you guys, especially after I saw all that. Hey, Kathy, how are you? And Cutie Pie, it's so good to see all you guys. Um, so they're asking people in. Oh, after I just brought the information out about you guys as soon as I saw. I only had one night to look into it, but after looking into it more, like Miss W told us how her parents had gotten in trouble with DCS before in Texas and things like that, I'm even more worried now, you guys. Um, so this lady Melissa. She is all over spreading awareness for Stephanie, and she's just the sweetest. When I posted about her on my Facebook the other day, I forgot to share her missing flyer. And you guys know I always share the missing flyers on my Facebook, and I forgot to do it just that one time, and she shared it for me, and I appreciated that. It says, "Reminder post: All are welcome. For those of you that would like to attend Stephanie's vigil but are unable to make it in person, here's a link to where the vigil will be live streamed December 21st at 1 p.m. So that's this Saturday, I believe. Click the link and make sure you click subscribe. So, and this is beautiful. The color that they're using for her is purple. I'll share that link with you guys. Let me see, I've got it here. Hang on just 1 second. And it's it is a it's at a church. And so let me see here. I don't know how to share. I always share it from my phone, guys. Hang on just 1 second and I will get it. It's pretty bad when I know how to do stuff from my phone and not from my computer, isn't it? Okay, so that's this Saturday at 1:30, I think she said. So there's the link to that, you guys, if you want to watch it online. So I thought that was nice that they're making it available to everybody that way. And today, what I wanted to talk to you guys about is 3 women that were murdered in Columbus, Ohio this past Saturday. And I was sharing in my Discord about it. Trista shared it with us, and then I remember I had seen it, I guess because of my algorithm. Hey, Eddie, how are you? All things serious. How are you, dude? Yeah, thank you for stopping by. I was sharing in there about how I guess in my algorithm it had popped up the press conference that they had after the women were found. And so I didn't know anything about that. But then I went back and listened to it, you guys, and a reporter, she was a really good reporter. She asked the questions, but she wasn't like harassing, you know how some reporters get real feisty and stuff. She wasn't like that, but she had all of her questions written down ahead of time, and you could tell. And she asked some really good ones, and she said, well, does the murder that happened Tuesday have anything to do with this? And then she asked him again later. She said, well, does the owner of the house, his murder, have anything to do with this? You guys, the 3 women that were found, their roommate, they were found on Saturday, right? And their roommate had been murdered the previous Tuesday. And I was like, oh my goodness. So then I went down a rabbit hole, and 3 women, you guys know how I am. They, well, I'll tell you guys about it. We have to start from 2022, and I have to show you guys something that happened in 2022. And also, guys, I have the numbers across the bottom of my screen. If you have any information about the murders of Sierra Muse, Tiffany Parrish, or Dawn Clover, please call the number listed at the bottom. I don't think it's a coincidence, you guys, and I don't think you guys will think that either once I share with you what I found. So yeah, we have to start at 2022, and I have to tell you about something that happened back then, and then I have to tell you about something that happened with this guy, Hakeem Graham. And it was October 26, 2022. And it says, ex-boyfriend rams and chases woman's car on Columbus roads, police said. Police arrested a man after they say he attacked his ex-girlfriend outside a Franklinton pizza shop, then chased her on city roads. Hakeem Graham, 37, was taken into custody on Tuesday and faces a charge of felonious assault with a weapon or ordinance. The offense ties back to an October 14th incident around 8 p.m. involving a high-speed chase and threats with a handgun, according to a criminal complaint record in Graham's case. And this is him, Hakeem Graham. The Columbus Division of Police said Graham's ex-girlfriend was pulling into the parking lot of Happy's Pizza. Hey, Miss Arnold, how are you? We're just getting started. The Columbus Division of Police said Graham's ex-girlfriend was pulling into the parking lot of Happy's Pizza at 1450 West Broad Street when Graham pulled up next to her. She told police she recognized Graham and tried to drive away, but then he rammed the passenger side of her car with his. So he's obviously got some impulse issues, ramming her car. The ex-girlfriend told police that she then drove around the pizza shop's parking lot to get back on Broad Street. He followed her, yelled threats, and then pointed a handgun at her, according to the criminal complaint. Okay, so we know, hey, Sunday Doodles, how are you? So we know that he likes to carry now. And the ex-girlfriend then drove faster to try and get away, going around 80 miles per hour on the city road. Graham kept up, driving in and out of oncoming traffic and running red lights. He then purposely rammed the back of his ex-girlfriend's car. So he doesn't care if he hurts her, but the people around her too. The ex-girlfriend eventually saw Columbus Police Department cruisers coming towards her on Broad Street and flagged them down for help. The report said at this point Graham drove away. Columbus police said they eventually found his car and tried to stop him, but he sped away again when officers walked up to his car. Later that night, CPD said it located Graham's empty car at the Spotlight Lounge at 1662 West Mound Street. It would be another 11 days before officers found and arrested him. Graham had an arraignment hearing Wednesday morning. His Franklin County jail record also listed additional outstanding charges in a separate case, which included the 2 other counts of felonious assault and domestic violence by assault. The jail record listed his next court date for the October 14th case as November 4th. So this was in 2022. I don't know how he got out of this or what happened. This was all I could find about this. But we know he was out of jail on um, last Tuesday, the 10th, because he is allegedly the one that that shot the one. Hey Debbie, how are you? It's good to see you. Are you just getting home from work? Let me see here. He is allegedly the one that shot the 3 women's roommate. Let me show you guys. Let me tell you guys about Darel Hambrick. He's the 3 women's roommate. Let me see here. This is Darel Hambrick. He was 45 years old when he was murdered on December the 10th. And his murder happened about a half mile away. Hey, crazy mama, it's good to see you. How are you? Thank you for coming by. He was 45 years old when he was murdered on last Tuesday. So a week from today today's Wednesday, a week from yesterday. And it was about a half a mile from the home where the 3 women were found deceased. This is him. And you guys, I could tell that he loved his family. This is his little girl. I believe she was born around 10 years ago. And of course, I covered up her face, you guys, but she is the cutest baby. Oh my goodness. And he has an older son. I'm not sure how old his son is, but he made a video for his dad on his Facebook page, and it was really sweet. He looked to be at least a teenager. And this is his daughter too, you guys. Look how cute. He's got her in a little carrier. Look how sweet. So, let me tell you guys about this incident that happened. Let me see here. Let me see if this is it. Okay, it says a man who was shot on the city's south side Tuesday afternoon died the following day. So he was shot in the yard of a house about half a mile away from where the women were found. And he didn't pass away until the following day. And when police showed up, he was able to tell them who shot him. So thank goodness for that. It says, according to Columbus Police, 45-year-old Darel Hambrick died Wednesday afternoon at 3:26 p.m. after suffering multiple gunshot wounds one day earlier. Hambrick was found by police who responded to reports of a person shot in the Vassar Village neighborhood. Hambrick was found in the 700 block of East Muller Street at 1:25 p.m. Tuesday and was taken to a hospital in critical condition. Police do not know what led to the shooting yet. It remains under investigation, and then they ask you to call those numbers. Okay. So he was shot last Tuesday and passed away on Wednesday. So let me see here. But they didn't arrest Hakeem Graham, the guy that I was just telling you about who chased his girlfriend. They didn't arrest him until Saturday after the women were found. Trista, thank you so very much for sharing that. Yep, those are the numbers. If anybody has any information, please call. So this is where Darel was shot, and then this is where the 3 women were found. So not very far at all. And then this is the house. It wasn't this house. There is a garage behind it. It's like a own separate apartment behind that, and that's where the 3 women were found. It was actually Darel's friend who had went to the house to check on Darel's girlfriend, and he's the one that found the 3 women. He went to high school with him, and thankfully Darel's girlfriend was in the hospital. They said she's sick with cancer. She's in the hospital, or she would have passed away with the 3 women too, I'm pretty sure, you know. Okay, now I found the 911 call, and we can listen to that. Let me get us there. Okay, 3 women found dead after man checked on partner of previous shooting victim. It says the man who alerted Columbus police before 3 women were found shot to death on a house on the city's south side was checking on the wife or girlfriend of a man killed days earlier in another shooting, according to a 911 call obtained by the dispatch through public records requests and an interview with the caller. Columbus police on Monday night identified Sierra Muse, 34, Dawn Clover, 49, and Tiffany Parrish, 36, as the 3 women found dead around 3:50 p.m. Saturday in a residence on the 1300 block of South Ohio Avenue. All 3 had been shot, according to a media release. DeAndre Herndon told a 911 dispatch and the dispatch on Tuesday in a phone interview that he arrived at the house Saturday afternoon to check on the wife of 45-year-old Darel Hambrick, his childhood friend who was shot on the 700 block of East Moeller Street, less than a half mile away 4 days earlier, and ultimately died. Hernan told the police dispatcher that when he arrived, the door was open. He said he walked inside and found a woman who had been shot in the head. Officers responding to the call found 2 more dead women when they arrived, according to police records. Herndon said Hambrick's wife was not one of the 3 women who are dead. She was in the hospital being treated for cancer. Okay. It says he told police that he didn't initially see that the woman had been shot. He told the dispatch he went outside where a neighbor offered him Narcan and encouraged him to search the rest of the house. And he said, right here he says it, told the dispatch that he found that suspicious and that the neighbor told him he had seen the women coming and going out of the house all day and later saw 3 men with assault rifles entering the residence. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I didn't catch this earlier, you guys. So he had seen them. This also, one of the neighbors said that it was a problem in the neighborhood. At this house, they saw traffic coming and going all the time. And, you know, you guys can take what you want from that. But you guys know I always say it doesn't matter what these women were doing. They had a right to do what they wanted to do and live. Nobody has the right to take a life. You know, that's up to God. Nobody does. Herndon also said that Hambrick was running a trap house, slang for a residence where drug users congregate, while his wife was in the hospital. So this is his childhood friend saying that, you guys. It said Herndon said he didn't think Hambrick was otherwise involved in trading drugs. A dispatch public records request for 911 calls returned only Herndon's call. An incident report provided by police stated that Saturday's shooting was drug-related. I don't know. I'm sure it does say that, but the police did say that no drugs were found, so I don't know. I'll go ahead and play this 911 call for you guys now, and you let me know if you can hear it okay.
What is chronic migraine?
It's 15 or
prescription medicine injected by your doctor. Effects of Botox may spread side pain, fatigue, and headache. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts,
Talk to your doctor and visit Botox.
With this girl. Well, when I came in the house, because the door was open, I came over to one of my friend's house because he got killed on Tuesday. He got shot on Tuesday, and he got killed on Wednesday. So I came over here to check on this girl. Well, when I came in the house, because the door was open, there's a body up in here, and the lady shot in the head.
Okay, sir, what address are you at?
Okay,
Oh no, what happened, guys? What happened? Oh my goodness. I hit something, guys. Okay, let me get it back. Sorry.
What is chronic migraine? It's 15
prescription medicine injected due to allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and headache, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
Talk to your doctor and visit BotoxChronicMigraine.com or call 1-800-44-BOTOX to learn more.
911, what is the location of the emergency?
Yeah, I came over to one of my friend's house because he got killed on Tuesday. He got shot on Tuesday, and he got killed on Wednesday. So I came over here to check on this girl. Well, when I came in the house, because the door was open, there's a body up in here, and then they just shot in the head.
Okay, sir, what address are you at?
Okay, all right, let me see. I'm right here on, I normally go to the back over here. Let me get the address. I'm right here on, it's like Ohio, 1331, South Ohio, in the alley.
Okay, and she spotted?
I don't know if it's a female. I think it's a female, because his girlfriend, she's in the hospital.
So you're at 1331 South Ohio?
Yeah, 1331 South Ohio, but I'm in the back of the alley. And I came over here to check on his wife because he got killed on him. He got killed. Yeah, inside, yeah.
Okay. And you didn't see anybody else?
Nah, I didn't see nobody else. I didn't see nobody else. I just looked. I was checking. I was like, yo, hey, what's up? Because I didn't want to go all the way in because I didn't know who it was. I came back out, seen one of the neighbors out here. I'm like, man, yeah, somebody in there, but they said, man, go check on them. They had Narcan. I went back in to check on them, and as I started looking, I seen blood. I seen like a bullet hole in the head, and then I seen like blood and all this next to the head.
Okay.
I pulled up to my U-Haul because I was in a U-Haul moving. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you're not currently in the home, is that correct?
No, I'm not currently in the home.
Okay, you're in the alleyway?
Yeah, I'm in the alleyway right now. I'm standing right by the U-Haul truck. I was in the U-Haul. I just came over to check on, see what's happening.
Okay. I'm officers en route, okay?
Okay. I came over here to check on her to see what was going on, or the one that's in there been talking.
Okay. So we have officers coming to you. Just stay on the line with me, okay? Was there anybody else in the home?
No, I was yelling to see who was in the home or whatever.
Okay.
Here they come right now.
I can hear the sirens in the background.
They're here now.
Okay, sir. So just speak with the officers, okay?
Yeah, I called.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
So there's the 911 call, and he said that the neighbor told him, the neighbor tells him to try Narcan because it could be a possible drug overdose. But he says he saw 3 men with assault rifles going in too. So he saw the men going in, but he didn't hear any shots. I don't know, guys. But so Hakeem, the guy that I told you that I read the article, hey Astro, how are you? Good to see you. So the guy Hakeem Graham that I read the report to you that he chased his girlfriend, intentionally hit her, and allegedly pulled a gun on her in 2022. He was arrested for Darel's murder that happened on Tuesday, but he wasn't arrested until the same night after the women were found. So it is possible that he had something to do with this too, allegedly. You guys feel me? But the guy who called 911, he also he did an interview on the he did an interview with the news too, so I'll let you guys see that. His name is DeAndre, and he went to school with Darel. Oh, Debbie, that's a good point. She says, could it have had a silencer? That's a very good point. I didn't even think about that. You're right. I'll share this interview with you guys too, so that you can watch it on your own time. Okay, let me come back and get you guys. Click, click, click. You guys hear my clicking? No.
for a killer is underway after the bodies of 3 women were found inside a home in Columbus, Ohio. Carla Rogner reports.
It was traumatizing.
DeAndre Herndon is grieving the loss of his high school friend, Darel Hambrick, shot and killed on the South Side this week.
Darel was a cool dude.
When he found out about Darel's death, Herndon went to check on his home on South Ohio Avenue, where he made a disturbing discovery inside.
And I had seen Darel, and I knew he lived here, so I came over here to check on Darel.
I got to tell you guys something else, too. Before I heard the 911 call, I was kind of, I thought that it was a woman who called and alerted to them about the 3 women that passed away. I'll show you guys an interview from a lady who was at their house the night before. And in a lot of articles, it says she called, a friend called, quote unquote, Sue. That's the name that she's using. And I don't blame these people for being quiet about things, because this seems like a very bad neighborhood for real, you guys. And so I don't blame them. But if you guys see that, I mean, I don't know. We heard the 911 call, so I really think it was him that called.
When I came in the house, the door was kind of ajar a little bit. So I came in, walked in the house. I seen like a body laying there. That's when I backed up out of there and I called the police.
Officers got there. They obviously contained the scene, and unfortunately, medics pronounced 3 adult female victims that had all passed away.
Darel Hambrick was killed on Tuesday, about a half a mile from the home where police found the women's bodies on Saturday. Police declined to answer questions on whether the deaths were connected and didn't share details about either homicide.
Anything you can say about why this is such a complicated scene and why the information is so vivid?
Again, it goes back to when you have multiple victims within one scene, there's so many moving parts because investigators obviously aren't sure exactly of everything, so they want to make sure they have a full.
Hey, Tony, it's good to see you. Good afternoon. Hey, Shaylee, how are you? It's good to see you, too. So we're going to watch this press conference after this, you guys, and he is talking about the women's deaths, and he says he doesn't know if it's related, and then they ask him about Darel's murder, and he says he doesn't have any updates. But right after this, we find out that a warrant was issued for Hakeem, and he is arrested right after this press conference. But, of course, he had to keep it quiet because he didn't want him to run, I would say, in my opinion, probably.
Picture in their head of what actually happened to piece these things together.
Spending hours on scene, police say they are meticulously going through every piece of possible evidence to try and piece together what happened. In the meantime, DeAndre Herndon is processing the traumatic scene.
It's just an unfortunate situation, just sorry that this happened.
Yeah, so I'm kind of worried for him too, because I'll let you guys, we're going to hear from one of the victims' aunts, and she gives a possible motive for why the women were murdered. One of them might have had some information about Darel's murder that she was going to tell the police, she says. So people don't like you talking around here. Okay, now I'll find you guys the press conference. Yeah, Debbie, the 3 women were murdered this past Saturday and the Tuesday, so a week since from yesterday, their roommate, Darel, he was murdered in a separate incident, and they hadn't caught the perpetrator by the time that the women were murdered. They caught him, who is the alleged perpetrator, right after they found the women on Saturday, and he is in jail on a $2 million bond right now, Hakeem, the guy that I was telling you about that hurt his girlfriend, and he shouldn't have been out of jail for doing all that in 2022 to hurt anybody else, in my opinion. You guys feel me? Trista says, also sounds like multiple people involved. Yep, I think so too, Trista, because I forgot to read you guys the arrest warrant about Darel when he was killed, but he said that there was another unnamed associate when he was shot. So there's at least that person that hasn't been caught yet.
For 4 p.m. this afternoon, officers were called to a 1300 block of South Ohio on a report that a friend had found some of their friends inside of this residence having medical distress. And when officers got there, they obviously contained the scene. And unfortunately, medics pronounced 3 adult female victims that had all passed away. And I just want to say, obviously, this time of year, any time of year, it's unfortunate when someone loses their life, but particularly this time of year during the holidays, it's going to be very difficult for all of these victims' family to come to the grips that, unfortunately, these family members will no longer be in their lives. So, again, just to clarify, just before 4 p.m., officers were called to the 1300 block of South Ohio to investigate what a caller had described as a medical event for people inside of the house. And medics got here and pronounced 3 adult female victims all passing away. So at this point, this is still very active and ongoing. So we have very limited details that we can discuss. But unfortunately, 3 people have lost their lives. Again, all adult female victims.
Is it a homicide investigation?
It absolutely is a homicide investigation.
Hey, Music City Mom, thank you for coming by. How are you? Yeah, they've arrested 1 person so far, Debbie. Yeah. But I definitely think there's more. Hopefully those are caught soon too. Some people, you guys know how it is on social media. I've seen it going around that they think there's a serial killer in Columbus because of these and other murders, but we'll listen to what the detective says at the very end. So social media causing problems again. We know how that goes, huh?
But beyond what type of homicide or what led up to it, we're still unclear, and we're working through that.
This was not a shooting.
We're working through the manner of death to determine what actually happened before we release any of that information.
When you got to the scene, were there all other people there? Was it a lot of people, a large group?
We did have witnesses there, and we're working through not only those witnesses, but canvassing the area for any video evidence. But again, very limited information at this time. And you see the amount of detectives we have back here that's going to work tirelessly to determine who done this heinous crime and bring justice to the family of these victims.
Are you thinking multiple suspects, 1 suspect?
Still unclear at this point how many suspects are involved.
But no one's in custody?
No one's in custody as of right now.
The search is ongoing?
Absolutely ongoing.
And we looked up the house. It's registered to someone who was a victim of a homicide earlier this week. Is that connected?
I don't have any of that information. So,
did you guys hear that? That reporter, she said she looked up who the house was registered to, and she says he's a homicide victim earlier in the week. Is that connected? So this is what showed up on my algorithm that day when Trista shared with me too. And I heard this and I was like, whoa. After I seen the article that Trista shared, I was like, I got to go back and listen to that again to see what exactly she meant by that, because I was like, whoa. And so this is the rabbit hole that I went down, and I'm bringing you guys with me. So
that's something that the investigators will work through to determine if that's accurate or not.
And we expect to be here for all night.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is a very complex scene. With the amount of victims that we have, it's going to take a little bit longer to make sure that we're very careful in going through the scene meticulously so we do not miss any key piece of evidence. Because unfortunately, it's very unusual to have so many victims in one incident. So, 1 homicide is 1 too many, but when you have 3, that's particularly alarming and troubling to us.
The caller, are they a suspect?
They're not a suspect at this time.
In this house, just to clarify where the crime scene is, it's the house that faces the alley back
1300 block of South Ohio is what we're comfortable
Okay.
saying right now.
there. And then the house where you responded to, is this a house that's familiar with Columbus Police?
We are always in this neighborhood, not just that house, but many other houses. Again, we try to make sure that we patrol all areas geographically within the boundaries of the city of Columbus. But unfortunately, this house right now, we're just focusing on this particular investigation.
And do you believe they were killed today, or have they
Yes,
been, okay.
today.
Anything that are you hearing any helpful information from neighbors?
I didn't realize that the first time either, that he said they were killed that day. I will show you guys the interview with the lady that had seen them the night before, so that does make sense. So we know that Hakeem wasn't in custody at this time.
We have not, but this is a great time to stress, if anyone has any information on this particular case, we urge them to come forward with that information, because there's no evidence that we will not take or any call for any type of information that could possibly help us solve this case. So again, if you are out there and you have any information on this case, we urge you to come forward with it.
What's the age range? I know you said adult female, but can you give like 20s, 30s, 40s?
At this point, we're just going to stick with adult females at this. We're still working through the next of kin notifications.
And have you talked to any of their families yet?
Still working through the next of kin notifications.
And then, sorry, one more question. Are they related in any way?
That part I'm unsure of, and the investigators are trying to determine all that right now.
While you're here, can I ask you, just because it's curious that the name of the person is the name of the person who owns the house was a homicide victim, is there any update on that investigation into the Darel Hambrick case?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
She just asked him again about Darel's case. She said, the homicide victim earlier in the week, are there any updates? And he said, not that he's aware of. So I thought that was interesting too.
Any indication of like what led up to that homicide? I know you probably know.
I'm not at liberty to discuss that, unfortunately, because right now they're focusing on this investigation.
And then, was there any drug activity at the house? Any drugs that you found inside?
Nothing that I'm aware of.
Okay. Yeah, sorry,
No,
I have a lot of
that's
questions
all right.
just because of what we're
That-
She said, was there any drug activity at the house or any drugs found? And he said not that he was aware of either. I know, crazy mama. It's so sad. I want to show you guys the victims now, the women. We will hear from two of the victims' families. Let me show you guys. Click, click, click. So this is the first victim. She is 34 years old, Sierra Muse. She had two sons and a daughter that I can tell. They look to be in their teens. Hey, Heather Brat, how are you? Hey, 71, how are you? It's good to see you guys. Thank you for coming by. So she was 34 years old, and I saw that some of her family members were saying that her sons lost both of their parents. So I'm not sure when their dad passed away, but now they don't have their mama either. And then let me show you guys. This is Tiffany Parrish. She was 36 years old. And we will hear from her aunt. She was a mother of 4. No. And then the last victim is Dawn Clover. She was 49 years old. And it's really, really sad what I found out about her, you guys. Her mama had at least 2 other kids that I know of, a daughter and a son. And her son, Frankie, passed away in 2018 when he was 42 years old. And then her daughter, Crystal, passed away this past August. So she lost her And then Dawn was killed this past Saturday. So her mama lost 3 of her kids, you guys. I feel so awful for her mama. Her mama's name is Roz. Astro, I'm not sure. They didn't find any drugs at the scene. They said there was a lot of traffic going in and out of this house. But, so that's all I know about that. So these were the 3 women. Now let's watch, let's see here. Oh, I do have, the warrant that was issued for Hakeem in Darel's death. It says authorities have issued an arrest warrant for Hakeem Graham, 39, in connection with a shooting that occurred Tuesday afternoon in South Columbus. Graham is being charged with the murder of Darel Hambrick, 45. According to court documents, detectives said Graham confronted Hambrick and then had an unidentified associate shoot him. He was charged with first-degree murder, though, and in other articles I said that he was the alleged shooter. I saw that he was the alleged shooter, but here it says an unidentified associate shot him. This unidentified associate needs to be found ASAP because he could also be the one that hurt the women, you know? It says on Tuesday, police responded to the 700 block of East Moeller Street at around 1:25 p.m. after a reported shooting. While at the scene, police found Hambrick suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. According to court documents, Hambrick told officers who shot him at the scene, well, thank God that he lived long enough to tell who did it because we might never know, you know? It says Hambrick was transported to Grant Medical Center where he succumbed to his injuries and was pronounced dead Wednesday afternoon. So he passed away a week ago today. So now let's watch it's an interview with a lady that was with, that had seen the women the night before. Let me find that one for you guys. Hang on just a second. Okay, I got it. Trista says, one of my great aunts lost all 3 of her kids also. Oh, yeah. Yeah, drug related. Bless their hearts. That's really bad, you guys. It's a really bad epidemic right now. I hope that it's getting better, but I don't know. I'm so very sorry for her, Trista. No parent should have to deal with losing one, much less all 3. Oh, was I sharing with you guys? I get it. So she does an interview. She saw the 3 women the night before. So we're going to listen to that now.
Columbus Police still searching for the shooter responsible for this weekend's triple homicide. One person telling me she knew all 3 victims and all 3 women were mothers, including one who was a grandmother. This person saying she was with the victims the night before they were found shot and killed.
I mean, I broke down, I cried.
This woman, who we are calling Sue, asked not to be identified for safety reasons, as she remembered 3 female friends who were discovered Saturday afternoon, gunned down in a Southside home.
How is it for you knowing you lost 3 friends like that?
It hurts. It hurts down deep inside.
The women were found shot to death in a house on South Ohio Avenue near Carnes Park. Sue says she was in the home with the women the night before those deadly shootings.
Going through clothes, doing makeup and hair, girl things, but I didn't think it would be the last.
We are not naming the victims until they are identified by police. The victims discovered by a friend. 2 of the women lived in the home along.
Look, guys, remember that 911 call that we listened to? He said he was in a U-Haul truck. There it is. It became part of the crime scene accidentally. It's not this house here. In the alley back behind there, there's that might be it through there. It's like an unattached garage, it looks like. And that's where the women were found, not here in this house up front.
With 45-year-old Darel Hambrick, who was shot to death this week not far from the South Ohio Avenue home.
He grew up with my aunts and uncles, and it's killing me down deep inside. And I had to call his girlfriend, whom's in the hospital dying of cancer, and break the news to her.
39-year-old Hakeem Graham charged and arrested over.
Guys, that lady that's speaking, she has decided to use the alias Sue, but she said that she had to call Darel's girlfriend, who was in the hospital passing away with cancer, and tell her what happened to Darel, I think. And then also, if she was out of the hospital, she would have been with the 3 women too. So that would have been they would have been 4 women, really.
Overnight with Hambrick's shooting death. Columbus police not saying if the 2 homicides are connected. Sue praying the shooter who killed her 3 friends caught soon.
I hope whom's responsible for this either steps forward themselves and turn themselves in, or they get caught.
Columbus police say they are still investigating the circumstances behind this triple homicide. Anyone with information is asked to call police. On the South.
At least it sounds like they had a good night before, you guys. So that was good. So we know that Sue was with them the night before, and a man seen them coming in and out that day. So that kind of narrows down the time frame that they were murdered. So that's good. Oh, really, Astro? I don't know. We read from an interview with DeAndre, who made the 911 call. He said that it was a trap house, that Darel was using it as a trap house while his girlfriend was in the hospital, and that's according to his friend from high school. So I don't know. That's just hearsay, though. Now I want to show you guys some interviews from the women's family. Let me find those for you guys. This is Dawn Clover's family. Some of them are speaking. And then we'll also hear from Tiffany Parrish's aunt. I tried to find something from all of them, but Sierra Muse, I couldn't find anything from her family yet. Some families don't come out publicly, and that's totally up to them. They're going through it right now, and I don't blame them.
Police cruisers still surround this outside home near Carnes Park, 3 days after 3 women were discovered shot to death. Columbus police have yet to make an arrest in the case as neighbors wait to learn what happened.
I'm not as concerned for myself as I am for my family. We have 3 grandchildren that live with us.
She was identified by fingerprints and tattoos.
Denny Clover and Debbie Smith say their 49-year-old niece, Dawn Clover, one of those victims. Columbus police say Clover, 36-year-old Tiffany Parrish, and 34-year-old Sierra Muse, all found shot to death in that South Ohio Avenue home.
Who does these things, And what kind of conscience do you have?
He said that she had to be identified by fingerprints and tattoos. That's really sad, you guys. Bless them. Astro says, yes, I wonder, did they know Darel was passed away? I would think so, because I reckon that he was staying with them in that house. So, yeah, I would say that they did.
After you do something like that.
And I hope whoever did this, that God has mercy on him.
Danny and Debbie say their niece was a mother and a new grandmother.
I helped raise her when she was a baby, and she was a really nice girl. She would do anything for you. She'd give the shirt off her back to help you.
She's always going to be in my heart because I loved her and she loved me. And she's going to be missed dearly.
Columbus Police releasing few details about the deadly shootings, telling us detectives are actively pursuing all leads and evidence, as this remains a very active investigation. We've learned 45-year-old Darel Hambrick, who was shot and killed just last week.
Trista says, I'm wondering if the guy that shot the homeowner didn't necessarily shoot the women, but he knows who did it, in my opinion. I would say absolutely, Trista. I would say absolutely. And if he's, they have him right now on a $2 million bond, so hopefully he tells what he knows,
Lived in that house where the shooting happened with two of the female victims.
He was a good guy. He caused nobody problems.
39-year-old Hakeem Graham charged in Hambrick's death, now locked up on $2 million bond. Police not saying if the two homicides are connected, as the families of the three women wait to learn if their loved one's killer has been caught.
Let somebody know something so the family can rest. They need to have peace.
On your side, Steve Levine, ABC 6 News.
So that was Dawn Clover's family. She's the one that her mama lost 3 kids recently. Well, since 2018. Now I want to Astro. That's what DeAndre said, the 911 caller. That's what he said. Now I want to show you guys an interview from Tiffany's family. Let me find it, guys. I'm glad we have a lot of videos for this case. That's not necessarily true with a lot of cases that we cover, but I don't know if you guys, I don't cover anything. I'm not an investigative journalist, but the ones that I talk about, that's not necessarily true. And I'm a visual learner. I don't know if you guys are like me, but it helps me to see stuff instead of just hear it in an article. Okay, so this is Tiffany Parrish's aunt. And I shared it for you guys if you want to watch it on your own time.
Those hearty laughs and just the best smile that came along with it.
Kelly Argyle remembering her niece, 36-year-old Tiffany Parrish, who was one of 3 women discovered shot to death in this Southside neighborhood Saturday near Carnes Park.
She wore her heart on her sleeve. She would do anything for anybody.
Parrish, a mother of 4, 49-year-old Dawn Clover and 34-year-old Sierra Muse, were found in this home in this back alley on South Ohio Avenue.
It's heartbreaking to know that she went the way she did.
Columbus Police called to this home here on the South Side around 4 o'clock Saturday afternoon after someone called 911 saying they found a woman shot inside the home.
When I came in the house, the door was open. There's a body up in here, and the lady shot in the head.
I can't even imagine what was going through the killer's head, let alone the women, as it was going on.
Family members tell us Parrish and Clover both living in the house. Also living there, Darel Hambrick, who was shot and killed on East Moeller Street.
Okay, so Parrish and Clover, and Hambrick. So the only one that was just visiting was Sierra Muse, the first one that I showed you guys. So she was just visiting, wrong place at the wrong time, bless her. Hey, Cammie. It is, yeah. I've never been to this area, but from what I can tell, it looks really bad. But I was also seeing where this lady, she avoided a kidnapping in Columbus too, and it was outside a they didn't get her, thank goodness, but they were trying to. But it was outside these really like ritzy looking apartments, and it was just hard to believe in my mind that it could be a place, it could be so different, you know, like the places that I'm seeing in this case, and then the area that I saw in that case were both so different but so close together. I'm from the holler, so I've never seen places like this, but that just stuck in my mind. But crime happens everywhere, huh, guys?
Days before the triple homicide.
We are looking at the possibility that Moeller and South Ohio are connected in some fashion.
Parrish's aunt telling us Tiffany had told relatives shortly before her murder she had information about Hambrick's homicide.
She was planning on going to the police. We don't know if she did.
39.
Oh, thank you, Kimmy. She says, "Hey, Mo and Co, I was glad to find you again." Me too. Thank you so much for coming by. Did you guys hear what she just said? She said that Tiffany had information about Hambrick's murder and she was going to go to the police with it. So that's a motive right there. And her aunt says she didn't know if she had gotten a chance to go yet or not. Well, whoever was trying to stop that from happening, this dude went to jail right after the women were found. So thank goodness they didn't complete that goal, you know? You want me to rewind it?
Parrish's aunt telling us Tiffany had told relatives shortly before her murder she had information about Hambrick's homicide.
She was planning on going to the police. We don't know if she did.
39-year-old Hakeem Graham now charged in Hambrick's murder. Police tell us they continue to search for suspects in both homicides.
We aren't saying whether how many people we think are involved or we're not sure that we know exactly the number of people that are involved. We do believe that there are additional suspects out there, and we are trying to identify them.
Is that what you wanted to hear, Astro? That part again? They also did a news conference yesterday, and we can listen to that after this, you guys.
And the family of Tiffany Parrish praying those arrests come soon.
It would mean a lot, but we'd rather have Tiffany.
On your side, Steve Levine, ABC.
She said it would mean a lot to catch the suspects, but they'd rather have Tiffany, of course. Of course. Okay, you guys, now I'm going to find the newest press conference that they did yesterday for us so we can listen to that. Hang on just a second, and I'll get it for you guys. So if you want to watch it on your own time, you can. 71 says, if she went to the police, wouldn't they tell the family? I'm not sure. I don't know about that. If the family, the least that the family knows is the better, because it wouldn't put them in danger, is what I would think. You know, the more people that know, the more danger that they're in. I have to get us there, you guys. I didn't get a timestamp earlier.
So I've been asked to come out and address some rumors in regards to our triple homicide and some of the other homicides we've had over the past couple weeks. We've been made aware that over the past several days that there have been some rumors circulating on social media that some of the incidents are connected to a serial killer. I can tell you definitively that that is not the case. The triple homicide on South Ohio from Saturday, we do believe there is an association with the homicide on the 10th.
He said he does believe there is an association with Darel's homicide. That's the one they're talking about that happened on the 10th. Hey, Five Boxing fan, thank you for coming by. They say, yeah, that was at Trap House. I live in Columbus. Yeah, that's what we were kind of thinking too.
in the 700 block of Moeller. We are still looking for several suspects out of that. We are asking the public, anybody with any information on this case, to call our homicide detectives. Anybody that may have seen a vehicle or any activity in the alley on the west side of the 1300 block of Moeller, or I'm sorry, on 1300 block of South Ohio on Saturday or Friday, to give us a call and talk to our detectives. Anybody with information on that house in the 700 block of Moeller, to call us, to reach out for our detectives. Anybody with video. So we are hoping that the public comes forward with that.
So he's asking for anybody with video on the 700 block of Muller. So that's where Darel was killed. So they're still looking into that too, because he's saying he thinks there's more people. And remember that one article that I read, it said that there was an unknown associate that Hakeem told to shoot Darel allegedly, or that was there when he shot Darel allegedly. So they're still looking into that. So that's good. I'm glad that they didn't just catch one person and like letting it go, you know. So I'm glad they're looking into that.
But we can definitively say that there is not a serial killer associated with that, either of those incidents. As you know, we did identify and charge an individual with murder out of the 700 block of Ohio. We are still looking for additional suspects. Yes, I'm sorry, 700 block of Moeller, from the incident on the 10th. So that individual is at Franklin County Jail. There was an additional homicide yesterday on Harrisburg Pike that is unrelated to the incident that occurred over the weekend. Out of the incident on Harrisburg Pike yesterday, we do believe it's domestic related. We do have a person of interest in custody in a different county, and we are hoping that that case gets resolved fairly quickly. Any questions?
Are you able to say why you believe those two are connected?
I don't. I think that it's important that just so that we know what's accurate information and what's not.
She asked, let me rewind it for a second for you guys. She asked if he could say why he thought that the two were connected.
I don't. I think that it's important that just so that we know what's accurate information and what's not, as information comes in, that we let the public bring that information to us without me, divulging what we know already.
Regarding the homicide yesterday, like what county is that?
Athens County.
Athens County. So to be clear, you're looking for one suspect additionally in the Moeller homicide, and then other suspects in the.
I wouldn't limit that. I don't. If I said that, that's a misrepresentation. We aren't saying how many people we think are involved, or we're not sure that we know exactly the number of people that are involved. We do believe that there are additional suspects out there, and we are trying to identify them at this point.
In both cases.
Yes.
But speaking to the Moeller case, I know it says that there was another suspect.
He said there's additional suspects in both cases, you guys. So that's something to remember.
Graham's last name. Have you guys identified the other suspect after that?
We have not.
We know that the women were suffering from gunshot wounds, but was there anything else involved? Were there drugs involved that you can tell us?
Nothing that we can talk about at this time. Obviously, the coroner's office conducted their investigation in the aftermath of the incident. Usually, toxicology reports take several weeks to several months, depending on how fast they get them back. So that's something that we'll pay attention to as we move forward.
Have you been able to talk to the owner of the house? It's my understanding that these were rented. What's the property owner saying? Are they being cooperative?
I believe that our detectives have talked to the property owner. Yes.
Has this been a troubled house? Have you been there before? I'm talking about the South Ohio location. Has that been a place known to you guys?
From my understanding, yes. I personally do not know.
So that one reporter asked him, had they been to the house where the three ladies were found before in the past? And he said to his understanding, yes, but he's not answering why.
Like the exact nature of the runs or the calls for service. But I was told that there is a history to the house.
you have any persons of interest or suspects in custody in connection with the South Ohio homicide?
At this point, no, we don't know. We don't have anybody charged out of that incident.
Any possible suspects or potential persons of interest?
I think that we're, like I said, we are looking at the possibility that Moeller and South Ohio are connected in some fashion.
Are you able to say during the Harrisburg hike? Are you able to say how was it like a stronger shooting?
At this point, I think we're going to just let the investigation play out on that. We have not charged that yet, and like I said, we do believe it's domestic related. But like I said, that investigation is still very active.
And you should get the person of interest apprehended at this time.
That is correct.
There's a video circulating on YouTube about the Hilltop area and sex workers over there disappearing, kind of sparking some of those serial killer rumors. Are you able to?
I'm going to run this, guys. She said that there is a video circulating on YouTube, and I haven't seen this video. Roro, it's so good to see you. Thank you for coming by. Cammie says, just because there is a history to the house does not mean a history to the people. It could have been different people. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's always good to keep stuff like that in mind, too. Hey, Aries, how are you? Thank you for coming by. So this reporter was asking him, she said there's a video circulating on YouTube about sex workers disappearing and the thoughts of a serial killer. And I haven't seen this video yet, but I'm interested about it because if we can share awareness about anybody, if women are missing or men, I'll do my best to share awareness about them too. I know that my channel is small, but like I always tell you guys, we only need one person to see that could help, the right person. So we'll always do everything we can. So I want to look into that too.
There's a video circulating on YouTube about the Hilltop area and sex workers over there disappearing, kind of sparking some of those serial killer rumors. Are you able to say if there's any truth to that video, if you've seen it?
I have not seen it. We do not believe that the South Ohio incident or the Moeller incident is connected to any kind of human trafficking, any kind of prostitution activity, or anything connected to the West Side in particular.
Okay, guys, he just said that he doesn't believe that the 3 women's murder was connected to sex trafficking or prostitution at all. So we can take that, he doesn't think it has anything to do with that.
Ring doorbell cameras or just security cameras have really changed the game for you guys investigating. Is there any video leading you to any clues, or were you guys able to find anything from that area?
So we are still actively canvassing the neighborhoods, looking for businesses or residents that have video. Anybody that has a cell phone video, any kind of digital evidence is going to be huge in a case like this. So we are asking the public. We are going to work through our PIO office to put out a map of the area, and maybe get one of those QR codes that people could to send the video to, and get if they have it. But we are actively asking the community for help in supplying video that they may have.
What about the friend who made the 911 call? Has they been helpful at all? How are they connected to these?
I don't think it would be responsible for me to talk about specific people calling and what they contributed to a case or not. I think in today's day and age, unfortunately, sometimes these rumors that circulate can take on a life of their own.
He's talking about it's the wind blowing, you guys. That's not me. It's their wind blowing. He's talking about the serial killer rumors. And I have one more video that we can watch after this. Cammie, yeah, thank you. Always let me know, you guys, when you find some good resources. You can email me too anytime. I always like to find the local papers. They know the best. Like about the judge and the sheriff, their local paper is the Mountain Voice, and I actually subscribed to them because they had so much that other places didn't have. So it's always good to check local first.
And it's our job to be transparent with the community, but also in the case where maybe there are some people, or that are afraid that these rumors may be true. That if we know definitively that they're not, it's not necessarily responsible for us to let that fester and let people get scared about potential threats that may be out there. So in a case such as this, where we know definitively that it's not true, it's our job to kind of help temper that a little bit. Sorry.
Did you guys hear what he just said? He said, in the instance where he knows that a rumor is not true, they're not going to let it fester and let the public be scared. So they're going to come out and tell the truth and be transparent. That kind of makes me think about the Sebastian Rogers disappearance and how Sumner County, they recently came out about the one tip that they had, about the green hoodie person. And I was worried about that person too, you guys. You guys know that I covered the Sebastian Rogers disappearance. I started on the 29th, I believe, or the 28th, just a few days after he went missing. And I tried to bring awareness to him. It was the first week that he was missing, and I was so worried. Me and Jennifer Hennyholt, my friend that helps me mod, we were so worried that he wasn't going to get enough awareness. So we were trying to think every way in the world to get awareness about his case. But after the first parents interview, I didn't think that I could help anymore. So I haven't spoken on him since, but I still pray for him every night. But what my point is that they came out recently. I was worried about the green hoodie person. We were made to believe that they were a suspect, and I was worried about their safety, but they did come out and dispel that rumor. And I know that they're so busy, you guys, and it's crazy that they have to dispel these social media rumors anyways. But I think that it is good that they did come out about that one. But so I was wondering if, how police handled that. And this detective, he says that they're going to come out and dispel those rumors. So that I thought that was good that they did that.
So I think that's an avenue that we're pursuing to say whether it definitively was, but I think every case is different, and then we get information during the course of an investigation, and it's our detective's job to vet that. So as we get, if we hear rumors, or, we hear individuals talk about gang or drug activity connected to an incident, we follow through with that and find out, is that true? Is it not? We talk to the officers in the area, we talk to the people in the area, and try to vet that. So for now, you think that's the you think that's the case right now? I wouldn't say I think it. I obviously I've heard the same things you have, so I mean we're obviously looking into it, but I wouldn't say 100% that we're saying that this is gang related yet.
Well, that's all the time these guys get hard out.
Yeah. He said they wouldn't say 100% right now that it was gang related. So is he saying that it could be possibly? I did see on Facebook, you guys, there was a couple of gangs mentioned that I'm not going to say the ones that I saw, but I think it could be a possibility. Trista says, yeah, there's so many yays and nays alike when it comes to social media. Yep, there really is. That's why anybody with a platform, no matter what the size, it's a big responsibility, you guys, to use it for good, There is one more video that I wanted to show you guys. It is about the serial killer rumors. Let me see here. I will share it so that you guys can watch it on your own time too, if you want to. I'm coming, guys. I'll never leave you guys too long. There we go.
Columbus police are releasing new information about a triple homicide. 3 women dead on the south side over the weekend.
Now, police believe this incident is connected to a separate deadly shooting that happened days before, less than a mile away. NBC4 crime and safety reporter Anna Hoffman spoke with police and one of the victim's family members. Anna, police leaders also wanted to address rumors that have been circulating on social media about this, right?
Yes, Jared, they did. There has been a lot of talk online about a serial killer being responsible for these shootings. Well, Columbus police say that is not true at all. However, they are still on the hunt for the suspects responsible for this triple shooting. I spoke with one of the victims' aunts. She tells me their entire family is in shock.
We relive it over and over and over again because we don't want to believe it.
Family members in the entire
This is Tiffany Parrish's aunt that we're seeing, you guys. And she had tagged Tiffany on Facebook. And so I saw her Facebook page, and they were really, really close. They had a lot of pictures together. And she said that they seemed more like sisters instead of aunt and niece. And so they were really, really close. And I'm going to remember them and all their family in my prayers, you guys. It's so very sad.
Columbus community are shaken in the aftermath of the deadly shooting of 3 women inside a Southside home. Tuesday, Columbus police leaders addressing reporters about the incident and putting to rest rumors.
We've been made aware that over the past several days that there have been some rumors circulating on social media that some of the incidents are connected to a serial killer. I can tell you definitively that is not the case. It's not necessarily responsible for us to let that fester and let people get, scared about, potential, threats that, may be out there.
Saturday afternoon, 34-year-old Sierra Muse, 49-year-old Dawn Clover, and 36-year-old Tiffany Parrish were found dead inside a home on South Ohio Avenue. Deputy Chief Smith Weir says they are still searching for suspects responsible for the triple shooting. Weir said Tuesday, police have reason to believe these deaths are connected to a homicide on East Moeller Street on December 10th.
We are still looking for several suspects out of that.
39-year-old Darel Hambrick was shot and killed a week ago on East Moeller Avenue. Police have arrested and charged a man with his death.
There's something going on here.
Kelly Argyle, Parrish's aunt, says her niece.
Heather Bratt says, to me, it feels like it's connected. I just have a feeling. Yeah, me too. I don't see how it couldn't be connected. 3 roommates and a visiting friend were all killed within 4 days of each other. I just feel it's not a coincidence. Trista Scott says, wow, wouldn't it be nice if all the investigators would give solid answers in dismissing rumors? I know, right? It's kind of like, I know that they have so much other stuff to do, but most police departments, they do have a public resource officer that their only job is to deal with the public. And I feel like that could help a lot if they could do that sometimes, Heather Bratt says, especially if Tiffany had info on the killer. Yep, I know. Yep, exactly. That's what her aunt says.
A mother of 4 did live at that South Ohio Avenue address.
She is one of the most kindest people you will ever meet.
Address records show Parrish did live at the address. Those records also show Hambrick lived in that same home on South Ohio before Parrish did.
We want nothing more to find who did this. They killed 3 people. Like, what kind of person could they be? They don't need to be out there because, they could kill again.
Deputy Chief Weir says detectives are looking through all leads and evidence they have. Police are asking anyone with information about these incidents to come forward. Local for you at
I'm with Tiffany's aunt, you guys. She says they don't need to be out there because they could kill again. That's exactly right. I'm thinking that Darel was able, thank God, to tell who shot him before he passed away the next day. If they could have arrested Hakeem before if they could arrested him quickly, before Saturday, like 4 days is good. You know, they made an arrest within 4 days. But if they could have arrested him before that, they might have saved the women, you know? I know, Heather. She says poor babies losing their mom right before Christmas. I know. Let me see here. I'm not sure how many kids Dawn had, but Sierra had 3 and Tiffany had 4. So that's at least 7 kids without their mother right there, you know? I want to show you guys the victims one more time, because that's what it's about. You guys know that I always try to find as much as I can about the victims, because those are the ones that get lost in all this mess, in the social media mess, and you know, altogether they're the ones that get lost. So this is Darel Hambrick. He was murdered last Tuesday. He was shot and he passed away the next day. He was 45 years old. And that's him with his baby girl. And that's him with his baby girl in the little carrier. I just think that's so precious, in a little carrier. And then this is Sierra Muse, 34 years old. So by listening back, we realized that she was just visiting the other women at the house. And then this is 36-year-old Tiffany Parrish. She's the one that her aunt says she allegedly had info about Darel Hambrick's murder, and she was going to go to the police about it, and she didn't know if she got that chance or not. And she was a mother of 4. And then this is 49-year-old Dawn Clover. And she's the one that her mama lost her 2 siblings and her all since 2018. So if anybody knows anything, please come forward. I have the numbers on the bottom of my screen scrolling across. If you know anything, please come forward. Thank you all so very much for coming to hang out with me today. All of my friends that helped me mod, I appreciate you guys so very much for coming to help me. You spend your time, and all of you guys that come to just listen to me, you spend your time, and that's, you know, you can't make more time like you can money. So I will never take that for granted. I think that I was actually even 1 minute early today. It really matters to me, you guys, that you guys come and spend your time with me, and I won't ever take that for granted. It is horrible, Kathy. And Cammie, it just breaks my heart too. Oh, Trista, I love you too. Thank you so very much. Guys, I did want to say that I think it was yesterday or the day before, I posted for our prayer request post this week on my community tab. My mama, I was cleaning out my desk, and my mama had bought me these really pretty prayer cards, and there's 24 of them, and I just picked one out at random and posted that. And I figured that we could that I could start posting those every now and again, and they're really beautiful. I think that they were watercolor. Hey JC, it's good to see you. I don't know if you got my email or not, but for some reason, I think that my email is It Is Just Mo. I still got it, but it looked weird. It said it had trouble getting to me. So I tried to send you my Discord link back, but I'm not for sure if you got it or not. I'm going to give you my email again right here. So if you didn't get it, please email me again, and I'll send you another one. No problem. Oh, Brad, thank you. Thank you so very much. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, it's I think that it's hard to remember. It is just Mo. Cammie says it is very refreshing to be here. Thank you so much. Well, thank you so much for coming. Thank all you guys. And you guys email me too if you find any more cases that we need to bring awareness to. I usually only go live about once a week because I like to I don't like to be, I don't have to be first, I just try to get all the info right as best as I can. So, but if there's anything important that we need to bring awareness to, and I also keep an eye on my community tab because I post things there a lot too if I don't necessarily have enough to go live about. Yes, Brad, thank you. Thank you all so very much, and don't forget to say your prayers and to take your vitamins. It's very important. Always check with the doctor, of course, like disclaimer. But take your vitamins right now, especially your vitamin D and things like that, because it really does make a difference. And don't forget to say your prayers. And I know it's an anxious time right now. The holidays are so anxiety ridden, I feel. And so just try to take some time for yourself when you can. Okay, I love you all, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.